Join me as we embark on an unforgettable 3-day tour where we will explore the breathtaking islands, deserts, and cliffs of Paracas, journey to the enchanting and adrenaline-pumping sand dunes of Huacachina, and conclude with the mysterious and ancient Nazca lines and reservoirs. I promise to showcase stunning island landscapes, uncover hidden gems, and delve into the mysteries of ancient Peruvian civilizations. This adventure is one you won't want to miss. So let's dive right in.
Good morning. So today I'm going to Paracas, Huacachina, and Nazca. So I'm going to fly over the lines of the Nazca lines.
Our journey begins early in the morning in Lima, from where we head south. Along the way, we catch a glimpse of the sprawling illegal settlements on the peripheries of Lima. As we continue, the clouds and cityscape gradually give way to sunshine, reflecting off the vast golden deserts that stretch as far as the eye can see.
Welcome to the town of Paracas. So right now we're just waiting to go to the next part of our tour, which is the islands of Ballestas, which are the poor man's Galapagos. That's what they say. I've been to the Galapagos in Ecuador, but let's go to the poor man's Galapagos.
As a group, we venture through the streets of the town of Paracas, which has undergone a transformation from a sleepy fishing village into a retreat for vacationers seeking rest from the bustling and unending city life of Lima. We arrive at the port and eagerly hop on board for our first adventure out to sea.
We are on a boat.
Surrounded by the sea, with fishing boats docked and large container ships towering in the distance, we power through the waves as the sun bathes us in its warmth and the warm ocean winds blow in our faces.
Welcome to the Candelabra.
We are greeted by the Paracas Candelabra, a massive geoglyph created by the Paracas people over 2,200 years ago. Various hypotheses about its meaning included being a representation of a giant hallucinogenic cactus from the Andes Mountains, or the trident of the god Viracocha, or a solar calendar, or even a map of the constellations. Eventually, we arrive at the Ballestas Islands, often referred to as the poor man's Galapagos. They are, nonetheless, every bit as beautiful as what you might encounter on the Galapagos of Ecuador. The name Ballestas is Spanish for crossbow, likely inspired by the massive arches of the islets that resemble a crossbow shape. Here we are met with the sights of sea lions, penguins, and a variety of seabirds. The island's giant arches are the result of millions of years of erosion caused by guano or bird poop, which is highly acidic, and the relentless battering of the ocean waves.
So all around us are guano deposits from the birds. So above us is also a bunch of birds that are trying to deposit their poo-poo.
This has shaped the rocks into massive jagged and cracked formations. The accumulation of guano over the thousands of years has given the rocks a white color. For centuries, these islands have been mined for their nutrient-rich fertilizer, which remains an important export for Peru. Every so often, we spot sea lions, which are the most abundant animals on the islands. Typically, they can be seen sunbathing, playing with each other, or, in the case of the larger ones, vigilantly guarding their territory, females and young. At one point, we witness a dramatic moment as a lone Humboldt penguin descends the sharp rocks. With each step, the tension builds and we all cheer the penguin on. Eventually, the penguin makes it safely to the water, likely oblivious to the goodwill it received from the humans watching just meters away. Finally, after taking a few laps around the islands, it's time to unwind and make our way back to town. We were all herded into a delicious restaurant called Vegano Peruano for lunch.
So today I went to the Ballestas Island for all the penguins and the birds and the sea lions, y lobos del mar. I had to wait another hour and a half, and then on to the next tour, which is going to be hiking.
While waiting for the next adventure, I took a relaxing walk around the town of Paracas. It has the feeling of a sleepy beach resort, seamlessly integrated into a bustling fishing village. The weather is warm but not humid, and there's an abundance of sunshine. The beaches were teeming with Peruvian families, likely vacationing from Lima. In the distance, an armada of fishing boats could be seen sitting idly, probably awaiting the start of the fishing season. Moments later, we are taken away in another tour van heading towards the Paracas National Reserve, The town vanishes into the distance, and once again we are surrounded by the serene, untamed desert with towering ocean-facing cliffs and islets looming in the not-too-distant horizon.
¿Dónde vamos?
Allá arriba.
Allá arriba. We are in the heart of the National Park of Paracas. This actually reminds me a lot of Lima because this kind of cove right here looks a lot like an area in Lima called Chorrillos, and then you have Barranco, which is where I stay, and then past that would be Miraflores. But our guide says doesn't look anything like Lima, but at least in my case, it reminds me of Lima because it's a lot similar to the desert-like atmosphere and the hills up there. So if anything, this is Lima about 1,500 years ago, pre-civilization, if not more.
The National Reserve is a striking canvas of contrasts, with the dark blues of the Pacific Ocean, the rich orange-yellow hues of the Paracas desert dunes and hills, and the vast light blue expanse of the sky above. As we venture further up the sand dunes and approach the coast, we are met with a staggering sight of colossal cliffs that plunge straight down into the violent waves below. A misplaced step or an overconfident stride, and the strong winds could send one falling into the abyss. On the edge of the cliff, two crosses stand as reminders of past adventurers who, many moons ago, were not so fortunate. But what is the point of coming here if you aren't going to have a little fun with manageable risk? So, embracing the thrill, I performed some yoga tree poses just 1.5 meters from the edge. As we ventured further up into the hills, we spotted a truck in the distance that seemed to be stuck in the sand dunes. The toy-like size of the truck served as a testament to the sheer vastness of the Paracas desert. We continued trekking up the hills, along the hills, and down the hills as the sun began its rapid descent towards the horizon. I stumbled upon a seashell that, curiously enough, had a perfectly cut hole into it, which made a great photography gimmick. We then enjoyed the once-in-a-lifetime golden blue sunset along the coast of Paracas, before ultimately making our way back to home base.
So today was a cool adventure here in Paracas, Peru. Well, we went to the coast here, to the dunes and stuff. That was a really fun thing. Really beautiful. So if you one day come to here in Paracas, I highly recommend it.
After an absolutely delicious dinner at Vegano Peruano, I went to the local hostel with my tour guide for a massive game of Jenga. Then off to dreamland. The next day began with an early morning adventure to the Paracas Cathedral.
Welcome to the National Park.
Referred to as La Cathedral. It's a colossal rock formation eroded over time that towers out of the ocean, standing about 100 meters or approximately 330 feet tall. Previously, there was an arch that connected this formation to the mainland, but after millions of years of erosion, coupled with an earthquake, the arch collapsed in 2007.
Leonidas coming in from Paracas. So Paracas is an indigenous word. It means like a very, very windy place.
The view all around us was absolutely breathtaking, with colossal waves relentlessly pounding the coast that seemed to stretch into eternity. We were surrounded by vibrant orange landscapes, accentuated by the deep blue hues of the ocean and towering cliffs once again.
Hey buddy, guess where I am? Probably won't guess it's Peru, but it is Peru. And behind me is the Paracas sand dunes. So I'm actually in the desert.
Every direction you looked, you could only admire in awe at such a landscape. It felt completely unreal and out of this world. The tiny figures of people and cars provided a stark contrast, highlighting the vast scale of this landscape. Back at home base, I had my final lunch before we hopped back onto the tour bus for our next adrenaline-filled destination deep in the deserts of Peru.